Three, two, one. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my Create Ultimate Selection 2 playthrough. Today, we're going to be going over everything I've done since the last episode, as well as talking about, actually going to be going into one of the mods that I quite enjoy that is in this mod pack, the Immersive Aircraft mod. We'll be making some things for that. May end up getting some sheep here on the island so I can handle, getting a lot of wool because we need it for that mod. But, and then we may end up actually building the skeleton of the house today. We'll see how it goes. Now, first thing you need to know is it took a lot of work for me to get this up and running. This is the tree farm that I believe I talked about in the last episode. Now, this is something that I think you should be making as soon as you can, but it's not as critical as the iron farm. You can wait a bit to make this, and in fact, depending on the mod pack, you need to wait a bit. So, I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a good view right now of the tree farm as it's working. And so right there up top is the all the sails, which are attached to, which means that the windmill bearing down there at the bottom, I'm trying to see, yeah, we can see right there. That's what's causing this whole thing to turn. And because the saws are on a moving contraption, they automatically cut down any trees and store the stuff in the vault and the barrel. And then I have this over here, which pulls out... Oh, wait, I'll get to that briefly. So the deployers also work automatically, and they are set up to place saplings. So for example, I just went ahead and removed a bunch of the saplings right here. And if we wait for the contraption to come around to the side, you will see that the hands fill up the hole. Now, I also have this over here, which is a portable storage interface, which means that that vault empties and it becomes partnered with this, and then this is actually powered by that windmill, and it pulls items from this interface into this interface, or into that play, which then comes out in here, and that gives me infinite wood. Now, the reason that was kind of difficult is because of those deployers, or the hands you can see in the back that are placing things. So, because of those deployers, I needed to get some quartz, which means you can see over there, I had to make a nether portal. That's not going to be the permanent position of the nether portal. That's just where I put it so that I don't have to deal with piglins running around my base. But what I also needed was brass. Now, to make brass, you need to make an alloy. And the typical way you make it is you get a blaze burner and you mix zinc and copper in that blaze burner. Or above the blaze burner. But that's a whole nother thing, and that would require a whole separate thing to make, and I didn't want to deal with that. Well, luckily, Immersive Engineering adds the alloy kiln, which allows you to essentially just smelt the items together. And that is what I put over here. Again, not where it's going to be staying, it's just where I put it for now. And this allowed me to get the brass I needed to make those hands, and this brass belt funnel here. And then the other small thing that I've done since last episode is I redirected a bit of the cobble from this item silo in the back here, and I have I can break this block, I believe, a automatic smelter system here to take care of that. Essentially, if there's cobblestone that gets put in there, the fan blowing through the lava smelts it, and it comes out here smooth stone, which is important because the one of the main building blocks for the house is going to be stone brick, like as a foundation. So I definitely want that, and this whole thing is probably gonna be one of the first things I rebuild in the house after because we're gonna have to tear it down for the house. Same with these. All these are eventually gonna be torn down after I've poured out all the resources I need. But today we are going to be doing some immersive aircraft. Let me make sure. There we go. So we are going to be building out of all of these. I think we can get the quadricopter, the bamboo hopper, and maybe a warship going today. And we're going to be creating bigger things to make it more effective in once we get the whole house thing. But at the very minimum, I want the quadcopter and the bamboo hopper. The warship is kind of a bonus. So the quadcopter is bamboo, which is one of the reasons I went and I got me all of this bamboo. Where did I put my sword? Is it in here? Yeah, I had to empty out my chest and my backpack, and it led to some things going places I may have to go search and find. But yeah, so that's why I have all this bamboo, which I also have some in here. So I need the bamboo, and I also need iron, which I have, that whole thing over there to deal with. But I also have some in my inventory, and then I also need the engine, which requires a fair amount of things. So let's see. No, that's gonna go and put some cobble in my inventory to make sure I got enough of that. Wood, copper. Where did I put my copper? Is that piston? Ah, yeah, piston. We're gonna need that. Ah, there's the brass ingots I made from that. There's copper. Okay, got the copper. That's iron and smooth stone. We're gonna go ahead and grab some stone from down here and go up to smelt it. And while that's smelting, I will. We need some redstone. Did anything else use? Okay, I need to find redstone. Not seeing any. Am I gonna have to go on a mining trip for redstone? I think I may have to go on a mining trip for some redstone dust. Huh, I thought oh. I must have used the last of it on those, because those need some redstone dust. Okay, well, in that case, see you guys in like an hour or so while I go and get me some redstone dust. See ya. Okay, and we're back, and as you can, I just went out doing a bit of mining over there, and I have a fair amount of redstone. This took me like, I think, an hour and a half to get all that. Wasn't exactly counting, but it should last me up until I can get my own redstone dust factory up and running. Because yes, if I am correct about this mod pack, there is there is a renewable source of redstone dust. At least it should be able to. That's just double checking. And there is, okay. And it looks like I got back just in time, because it is now nighttime. And after this, we're gonna go ahead and get right on to crafting those airships. Now, this is a really fun mod. I've used it a couple times, and it blends really well with Create. So, we are going to make this for the first thing. Need to grab that stone. That should give me enough. So, quadcopter needs these, and so 1, 2. Let's see, we need 4. So then, okay, we have all of that. And now we need the engines, and so we need 1 more piston and we need to craft up to a blast furnace to make, and then we need another furnace to make the boiler. That allows us to create the engine. From there, the quadcopter. Let's see, need some charcoal for this, so gonna go ahead and get some charcoal. That's one of the reasons why a wood farm is so important, especially with this, is because you can then take the charcoal that you get from burning the wood and turn it into fuel for the aircraft. Now let's see, we should have some coal here. So this will allow me to take the quadcopter and fly it around a bit. This is why I was like, this is perfect for building, is because this is essentially creative mode flight that I can use to do building it. You can't really use it for much else. It's pretty much the only reason you would have this. But it is very handy when you're just doing some regular building. Now, let's see how much of this we can build. So we need. Let me grab some more bamboo. Because we need 5. So that should allow us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, I'm going to go ahead and pause here and then get back to you guys when I'm finishing up getting onto the part of the biplanes. And then, because that way you aren't sitting here watching me craft for 30 minutes. See you in like maybe only 20 this time. And we're back, and now I'm going to show. And now we're going to go ahead and craft up the bamboo hopper. So I had to craft up some bamboo blocks, a bunch of engines, a bunch of these holes, and some biplanes. Now, the main reason I went for this one over the biplane is the bamboo hopper is water capable. Let's see space. And now I have a plane, and as you can tell, I believe this also has two additional seats, and you can upgrade it with some weapons and some upgrades. Which, by the way, we will be automating the fuel for all those weapons as well in the big factory. And let's see what right there. It's a pretty good sized island right here. May use it for something in the future, but probably gonna want a factory a bit closer to home. But this is gonna be like a big, transport from going from one spot to another. This will be a pretty handy thing to do it. All I need is a bunch of coal or charcoal, and I'll be able to do it. So I can, come in for a landing. And let's go and just pick that up because I don't have one of the ideas is that I'll be able to, come in and land here. Also could probably get a boat set up as well. Gonna have to check the recipe for that, but I should actually have the stuff to make a couple boats as well, which will be fun. It's another reason I like building a little water with these mods. So we have the quadcopter and the bamboo hopper. The last thing I need is the warship, which requires wool and string because I need sails to make, all the airships. Oh, and by the way, I will be showing, the airship, the cargo airship, and the warship because you do need to do each level to craft the one further up. But it looks like we need a bunch of wool, and I, in my infinite wisdom, have not grabbed some sheep. Now, due to a wandering trader that passed by here a bit ago, I did get 2 leads, and I can easily get seeds and make a little wheat farm so I can, or no, actually, I think I have hay bales somewhere around here. Yeah, I have hay bales and wheat, so I'll be able to, set up a little pen and breed me up some sheep so that I can get a good amount of wool. But before I run out and find me some sheep, I need to sleep. Come on. Oh, and another reason why getting a good amount of sheep would be good is... let's see. Trying to remember, is Cog one of them? Ah, there we go. The small ships requires leads, which requires string. And, we have also wool, but the leads require string, which we are talking about, and slime balls. And I actually found a mod that means a iron nugget, green dye, and water bucket can make 8 slime balls. So, it's a lot easier to automate than the create recipe, which requires bone or white dye. And I'm not very up to date on how to automate these. Plus, at that point, I will also have to turn it into dye. So, let me go find me some sheep, and then I'll come back once I have begun transporting them over to here. See ya. And according to my mini-map, there is the second sheep. So I got both of my sheep now. And now I need to make my way back to home base, which is that way. So now that I got my sheep, I will see you guys back at the home base. Okay, and we are back at base. And here we have the 2 sheep. And we need white wool, so I need to make sure they're both white. And luckily I have a couple of these up here. So I should be able to just craft some white dye and make sure they are both white. By the way, I did check, black or gray carpet would not work because it specifically states white carpet. So let's get some fence posts. That should be enough. Oh, I forgot the diagonal fence mod is in here. Completely forgot that mod is in here. It looks like it ended up perfect. I'm gonna have to make one more just to ensure no escapees. And as a player, I should be able to do this at least. I'm not the best at parkour if you can't tell. Yeah, because I jump, I should be able to get in and out of this, but other mobs should not be able to. So I can go ahead and remove that. And I'm gonna go ahead and sleep to see if I can actually get this rain taken care of. Not at the moment, so I'm gonna go ahead and take another pause here because it looks like I'm gonna have to be doing some sheep breeding because I need a lot of wool. And these 2 guys ain't gonna cut it. So, see you guys in like an hour when I have all my sheep. Hey everyone, I would like to apologize at this point because it is here where I didn't turn my microphone back on. I muted it externally so it wasn't, pulling processing power. But yeah, so you're getting this post-edit Sentinel Blaster instead of in the moment Sentinel Blaster. You just saw me realize that I needed to spend a lot of time going and getting more wool because I did not have enough. So I crafted a whole bunch of sails showing the level 1 airship and kind of showing off what I got. Did actually experiment here that I never have before where I actually go and got some green dye to try out the dye feature just so I can see where it actually changes. But Also ended up talking about the easy mob farm mod. That means I won't have to deal with massive amounts of sheep. I can just, use that. Oh look, it's only the front and the back that got changed. But then we do a upgrade to the cargo airship, which is essentially, it uses less fuel, but it has a much bigger storage capacity than the original airship. And then you need to use the cargo airship as the base for the warship. And as you can probably tell, I had to do a whole bunch of crafting to get to that point. But something else is, you'll see in the upper middle when I'm in the backpack, you'll see a lot of sails. I had actually overcrafted sails, but it turns out I crafted just right because I end up using all those spare sails for a comparison shot at the end, which you'll see. And then also, again, just I want to apologize for the technical issue with this. You see that I had to go and make some more copper. Tree farm was turned off to save lag. But, once we get all that, it's pretty smooth sailing. Only 3 things need the sails in the entirety of the mod, which is interesting. But, so, finish up the crafting, which is a whole bunch of things. Honestly, probably could have done this off camera. But once I get the, full thing, turns out I have to go all the way up to the top of the mountain to show it off. And then, look, this requires so much more fuel, so yeah, definitely wait until I get that tree or charcoal farm set up so I do not have to worry about, coal and everything. Coming to the end of the sped up portion here, I use the spare sails for a comparison shot at the end, so let's go ahead and go to that. Hey everybody, so I may have gone through and done it in post, but I just discovered that I didn't have my microphone on. So, and I already crafted all of these, but I do have all that footage from when I did it, and I'm not quite sure which pause I actually turned my microphone off on. So if you're watching this, I've probably already gone and done voiceover over the parts that ended up not getting a voiceover. So, again, I don't quite know what it'll, what has a voiceover and what hasn't. So I'll have to go and search and process to do it. But I'm going to go ahead and just give a brief overview of what we did work on, and you probably have already seen this. But we have the airship, which is the simplest of all of the airships. Then we have the cargo airship, which is slower but has more storage space. And then we have the big daddy of them all, the warship, which has 3 slots for fuel, a bunch of storage space, and the most weapon capacity of all of these. Now, as I just said, I am so sorry for forgetting to turn my microphone on for some of this. But this isn't exactly the sort of thing I can go in and reshoot because I just did all of this. So I'm probably just going to end up going and doing a voiceover. But I want to thank you all for watching. Have a wonderful day. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Interactions feed the algorithm. Algorithm puts more eyes on my videos, and it's a never-ending loop. Have a wonderful day.